Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Ahmad Shahir bin Wan Azihan and my matrix number is 053530. I am from TESOL 3A. Today, I'm going to talk about the history of English language and how English language came to Malaysia. Unlike languages that evolved within the borders of one country, English has flourished by crossing boundaries and invasions since its origin some 1,600 years ago, collecting bits and pieces of other languages along the way and evolving with the spread of language around the globe. English is a Western Germanic language originating from Anglo-French, which is similar to English-French dialects brought to Britain in the 5th century by the Anglo-Saxon settlers. Anglo-Saxon, also known as English-Saxon language, now called Old English, emerged as a group of English-French dialects that were spoken by the settlers at least. Other than Old English, the Middle English and Modern English periods also exist. Modern English proper, similar to that spoken today in most respects, was in place by the late 17th century. English came from British colonization to be spread to other parts of the world, and it is now the dominant language in many countries such as Britain, United States of America, Malaysia, and parts of Africa and India as well. In today's English language, vocabulary alone is growing at a rate of about 1,000 new and accepted words each year, and these are only the words that are considered as relevant enough to be added to the online edition of the English dictionary. The dramatic rise in new words is largely due to technology and how people spontaneously invent new words through their email and text messages that spread through social media very quick and efficiently. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Sir Engko Suhaimi and fellow friends. My name is Alaiman bin Alamin and my matrix number is 053478 and I'm from TESOL 3A. So, under our topic, which is the relevance of learning English in Malaysia, I am going to present about the effects of learning English in Malaysia. Firstly, learning English in Malaysia gives many major effects for someone that learns English. Some effects of learning English is obtaining good and high-rank job for those who have good exposure to English. This is because most employers prefer their staff to be able to speak and write English fluently. Many multinational companies in Malaysia who need Malaysian workforce are on the lookout for those who are proficient in English, as they are going to deal on the international level. English is a language spoken and written by many people around the world. It is considered as one of the most important languages of the world. It is widely spoken across the globe, even on the internet. So, a company have staff with good exposure to English. This could really increase the company's profit, and the company will be known nationwide. That's for the job spec. Next, learning English in Malaysia can create a society or community that can communicate well in English. This will give lots of advantage for those who learning and mastering the English language. For example, anywhere we go in the world, we can find someone who speaks English. If we account only the country where the English language is the official language, such as United Kingdom, Australia, USA, and Canada, there are more than 400 million native English speakers. Simply put, we must recognize that English is an international language, the main language of this planet. Not only that, since Malaysia is a tourism country, lots of foreign tourists will come to Malaysia to spend their holidays because Malaysia have lots of attractive places for them to visit. The main issue is that they will use English to communicate since it is the international language. So, if we learn English, we can communicate with them easily and they will have good impression towards us and our country. This will also attract them to spend their holidays at Malaysia again and again, time after time. Besides that, people who learn English language in Malaysia will have a problem which is they will start speaking Manglish language. Manglish is an English-based quarrels form of Malaysian English principally used informally in Malaysia that is heavily influenced by the dominant languages of the country such as Malay, Chinese and Tamil. It is not an official language. This is very common in Malaysia where people will speak English in their own slang. For example, for Malay people often say can lah, which means yes, and for Chinese people like to say can meh, which means are you certain, and can bo, which means can or not. This is not good because English is spoken in an improper way. In this case, teachers should play the main role by monitoring their students and teaching them to speak English in a proper way. It might be hard in Malaysia, but we have to give it a try. As the going says, if we never try, we never know. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Syarul Wafi bin Mazlan. My metric number is 053591. So now I'm going to present about the purposes of learning English. One of the main purposes is to secure more job opportunities. Many large companies these days require that their employees speak English. In some cases, these companies are requiring their workers to only use English. As the world becomes more global and better connected, it is only natural that big businesses will want and need to communicate more. Nowadays, everyone is trying to learn and communicate with English. English is becoming the common language that people from different countries and cultures can use to communicate with one another. Besides, by studying English, it would help the learners to become better educated. Not only does knowing a foreign language and expand their brain power, but they can use their knowledge of English to learn more and more things about the world. Moreover, there are many great works of literature, science, history and social science that were written in English first. Do not lose anything by trying to read a translation. Instead, we will come closer to the main idea of what the writer is trying to say by reading the original writing in English. The purpose of learning English is also to know the global language. It is a historical fact that the economic power wielded by Great Britain and America over the last few centuries has resulted in English being so widespread today. This has taken a long time, and many good things and bad things have happened in the process. English spread through war, trade, slavery and religious missionaries. Today we can recognize that English is being spoken everywhere in the world. We can use it to communicate with people from foreign countries and to understand each other better. Knowing English will let us be a part of global conversation. Furthermore, knowing English will improve our confidence. Any person alive would wish to speak another language. It is a skill that everyone would love to add to their resume. With a little bit of studying every day, we can have this skill. Then we can be very proud of our ability to communicate with a wide variety of people. People will also seek us out to learn about us and our perspective on things. They will be interested in us and our experience in life. They will also want to know the thoughts, hopes, fears and opinions from someone from another culture. When we feel more like we are more interesting, we will feel more special and confidence. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Qalis bin Zainuddin. My matric number is 053510. So, you have learned the history of English. You also have learned the effects of learning English. Now I'm going to explain to you the advantages of learning English. Learning English could open up a lot of windows and provide opportunity for the second language learner. This is especially true as English are widely used around the globe. One of the benefits learning English is it will cover in aspects of international relations. As one of most used languages in the world, most international business use English as a medium for transactions. This also include emails, memo, reports, and contract. Moreover, international clients mostly use English to communicate and engage with each other. On the other hand, English also helps people to make connections and relationships amongst people. English is a social language and learning is a social skill. So, while learning English, you may also have to practice with native speaker. So, you might also want to join study groups or pen pals. This has indirectly helped to mingle with other people while learning English. According to a study conducted by University Science Malaysia, majority of their students agree that Facebook is an essential tool in learning English. This proves that learning English while socializing helps with connections and relations amongst people. Well, in conclusion, while we need to prioritize our own national language, that doesn't mean we should not expand our horizon by learning a new language. Learning a new language means that we are learning a new culture. In this context, learning English is still relevant more than ever, especially during this era of world globalization. Language should not be used as an excuse to build barrier around you, but instead it should be used to tear down barriers that keep us apart. Never be afraid to learn something new and try to explore more of this world, using language as medium of interaction. That's all from me. Thank you.